Alright, well, welcome back everybody. This is part 2 to the 1964 Buick Electra 225. Got a few days that I'm going to be able to work on it, drain the oil, change fuel filter, especially clean the exterior and most definitely the interior. Yeah, so let's get right into it. Alright, so I did a little bit of prep work before taking video just to get it ready to pull out. But I went and got a new tire for the front because it wouldn't inflate, and but otherwise all the other 3 tires actually inflate, which is nice. They don't really hold air, unfortunately, so maybe for a couple days, and then I'll probably have to pump them up again. But I moved the tractor here so we could pull this car out. It makes it really hard to work back here in this corner, and it gets really dark, as you could probably tell from the previous video. So I'm going to end up pulling it out here onto the concrete and work on it there. Okay, so we pulled the car out of the garage after 30 years, and this is what it looks like right now in the sun. It is a midnight blue color. Appears black though. Just prepping it to get painted, or not painted, to get washed. That will reveal the paint. Neat car. All right, so this is the first time in 30 years that this car will have been washed. So I'm really excited.
If everybody had an ocean across the USA, then everybody'd be served like California. You'd see them wearing their baggies, Warachi sandals too, a bushy blonde hairdo, serving USA. You'll catch them surfing at Del, Ventura County line. USA. And Anchor Keys and Swan, Pacific Palisades, San Onofre and Sun, Redondo Beach and LA, all over La Jolla, at Waimea Bay. Everybody's gone surfing, surfing USA.
Splash, I was taking a bath long about a Saturday night. Yeah, rubbed up, just relaxing in the tub, thinking everything was alright. Well, I stepped out the tub, put my feet on the floor, I wrapped the towel around me and I opened the door, and in a splish splash, I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? There was a splishing and a splash, reeling with the feeling, moving and a grooving, rocking and a rolling. Bing bang, I saw the whole gang dancing on my living room rug. Yeah, flip flop, they was doing the bop. All the teens had the dancing bug. There was Lollipop with a Peggy Sue, but the golly Miss Molly was even there too. With a splish splash, I forgot about the bath. I went and put my dancing shoes on. Yeah, I was a rolling and a strolling, reeling with the feel, moving splishing and a splashing. Hey, yes, I was splishing and a splashing.
All right, so I washed down the 64 Buick, and I tell you what, that paint is really popping. It will need a polish, possibly a compound with the large swirls in paint. But my approach to it was to kind of hose down the car very lightly, soak it, just because you don't want to rub any of the dirt, sand, grit into the paint, make it look worse. So, but it turned out really nice. Of course, it looks really good in the water, with the water on it, but we should hopefully get close to that with polish. And interior has seen the sun as well for 30 years, but that will all be cleaned out as well. Nice color combination, light blue with the dark blue exterior.
Okay, so what did you say, Dad? You'd prefer to have, well, this is your car right here.
Yeah, you take that home, I'm driving this one.
You're driving that one home?
Yep.
All right then. She's a beauty.
Yeah, a lot of work. All right, well, off camera, after rinsing the vehicle down, I did wash it with soap and water, scrubbed it up as best as I could, and anyways, then brought it back in here with the tractor and clay barred it, and then waxed it. Unfortunately, the paint is really thin on the vehicle. It did have a repaint at some point in its lifetime. But yeah, it looks pretty decent. Some flaws here and there, but otherwise it turned out pretty nice. I went through the interior this morning, next day, and cleaned up all the windows, all the inner door jambs and stuff like that, doors. Rinse it down with 50-50 vinegar and water, just to get rid of any mold or anything that had been forming. Dash looks really nice now, all clean. Fortunately, this seat again has a bunch of tears in it, but that's okay. Still got to find out where the smell is coming from. It's really bad in this car. It doesn't smell like a dead mouse, but it is pretty bad. Yeah, thank you, groups. Okay.
Stay up to date with you.
There we go. Need a little influence.
Sometimes you gotta sneak up on.
Okay, here we go. Hoping there's no sludge. Actually looks pretty good. It's smooth. Doesn't even look like it's coming out.
Nothing coming out.
Oh, there's stuff coming out. It's flowing really nicely. So that's good. That's what you want. You don't want any chunks or anything like that. But we'll have to see towards the end. After it's almost done draining, sometimes there will be some chunks that come on out, so. 4 quarts of oil. Drain all this oil out. Put 4 new quarts of oil. Run the car for about 15 minutes. Drain it,
Yeah.
and then put another 4 quarts in it and call it good. Probably don't want to use any Marvel Mystery Oil because that may not do well with the seals on an older vehicle. So after letting the oil drain for a while, I decided to go ahead and steam clean the carpets. They look fairly dirty. They've been sitting for 30 years. I know that the front seat had rat poison sitting on it for quite some time, so that would definitely be good to clean up.
Pretty woman walking down the street, pretty woman, the kind I like to meet, pretty woman. I don't believe you, you're not the truth. No one could look as good as you. Mercy. Pretty woman, won't you pardon me, pretty woman? I couldn't help but see, pretty woman, that you look lovely as can be. Are you lonely just like me? Wow. Pretty woman, stop a while. Pretty woman, talk a while. Pretty woman, give your smile to me. Pretty woman, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pretty woman, look my way. Pretty woman, say you'll stay with me. 'Cause I need you. I'll treat you right. Come with me, babe.
Just about. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Hold on a second.
Cool, Connor.
I don't want this fuel line to get in the fan, that's for sure. Something fly out the front there?
What's that?
Did something fly out the front?
No.
No? Oh.
No?
Well, unfortunately last night, trying to start the engine, did get it running, probably for at least 20-30 seconds, and turned the car off just to make sure everything was out of the way of the fan blade. And I went to go start it up again after my grandfather came out, and all of a sudden heard this squirting noise. Came out and there was a giant black puddle of oil on the ground. So, it wasn't necessarily black, but it was really dark last night, and probably should have waited till the morning. But you know, I at least know if the car is getting oil pressure, and I don't have an oil pressure gauge And all I have is what a lot of people call idiot lights on the dash. So, and that's not really a good indication if I have oil pressure or not, because the sensor could be bad after all these years. So at least I'm glad to know that I have oil pressure. Okay, after last night's little mishap, we're going to try it out again. After putting this video together, I realized that I was getting way too much fuel at the very beginning here. I will show you a close-up of the carburetor in a little bit. Unfortunately, I was not able to see the carb overflowing from the interior. The spark plugs will not ignite the fuel if there is too much. This is why I was having problems starting the car. In addition, too much fuel can wash down the cylinders, which is not good for the engine. As you can see from the previous video segments, I dumped 4 quarts of oil on the ground. That was caused by 2 oil filter rings. Make sure when you take off the old oil filter that the old seal comes off with it. After adding more fluid and reinstalling the oil filter, I had a hard time starting the vehicle. Obviously, I was getting too much fuel. I found out later that the floats were not adjusted correctly and allowed too much fuel to flow into the intake. This is why the car can be seen running with the fuel line disconnected and running off of the fuel remaining in the float bowls. Unfortunately, I was not able to test the transmission due to issues related to the oil filter and carb. The next video should cover that though. Okay, after some trying to figure out how to get this car into this corner, I was able to use the tractor, and now I officially love having a tractor. But anyways, I was able to do a 90-degree back end, well, what is it called? Anyways, needed to get parallel parking, I guess you could say, actually. I did a little bit of parallel parking with the tractor, moving it little bit by bit. And so I had to adjust the steering wheel every once in a while. But was able to get it in this corner, and so now it should be good on the concrete and ready for me next time. Okay, well, that's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed the content. To me, it seemed a little bit minimal just because I had so much fun just kind of wrenching on it, and so I didn't really take video of everything that I did, but she's all clean in the corner and ready for me next time when I want to work on her. So, till next time.